question I have for you. Is there anything about the UConn's offensive scheme that concerns you going into Saturday's game, or do you consider the changes at the top of their coaching staff, maybe anticipating seeing something different in terms of their offensive approach?
Every offense is, does give me some concern as far as, being able to defend, because what they're going to do is try to, put forth plays that may challenge your rules from a defense, and the ones that are able to get into a rhythm as far as understanding your defense and giving you structural problems offensively. Yeah, I mean that's that does concern me because there's not a defense that defends every offensive formation or play. So what I am a little bit more concerned about this week is that we just take care of our rules and play what we do correctly. And I don't think that's what we have done consistently in the first two ball games. The first ball game against Georgia State, I felt like we did some good things to get off the field. We did some nice things against the run, but we just needed to improve a little bit more from a fundamental and a scheme standpoint. And then in the second ball game, we got up to a 35-14 lead, with about 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And then we made some mistakes that allowed them to get yards and points. Connecticut can do that same thing. They can, move the football. From a talent standpoint, they got some guys at tailback, at quarterback that can throw it, tight end that can catch it. Receivers can run the routes. So are they guys that may be as talented or more talented than what we saw last week? I'm not sure about that, but from a standpoint of moving the football, they can do that. They do have the talent to move the football and to score some points. So we'll do a good job, I think, of playing hard. And if we eliminate mistakes, I think we'll be just fine.
Great. And my follow-up and final question: it appears that Andre Carter has really picked up where he left off in 2020, whereby he's currently has 7 tackles, about 4.5 sacks this season in just 2 games. He obviously has the ability to rush the passer, but also effective in pass coverage as well. How unusual is it to have someone his size have such athleticism? And can you talk about his upsides and the fact that he's only a junior?
The big thing about Andre has come a long way. If you go back, you played some receiver in high school, came here and played defense, and you could tell early on that he was a guy that was going to play hard. I mean, he chases the football, pursues the football as good as anybody, and then also a guy that has some hip flexibility, which is what you want when to make a good pass rusher. So a guy that can bend and come off the edge, he's got the tools to do that. He's got length. He's got good speed. He's got great hip and ankle flexibility. So you put that along with his ball skills and his length into the boundary as far as cover skills. I don't think there's a ton of guys like that, across the country. Not with his length and his speed and athleticism. Now, there's some things in his game that he'll be the first to tell you that he's still got to get better at. But I think he's a guy that's leading the country in sacks. He's a guy that is prepares himself as well as anybody for his opponent, and understanding his responsibilities in the scheme of the defense, and going out there and playing with confidence. So. Yeah, he's definitely a good leader for us and a productive player.
Thanks, Coach.
Welcome.
Hey, Nate, Ken McMillan from the Times Herald Record.
What's up, Ken?
Not too much. Nate, just a final assessment of the defense from Saturday's game. I know you just addressed part of that, but are you really concerned about what you got back there, or was it just a matter of you'll get that fixed?
I think I don't think a lot of people were concerned in the first ball game, and then maybe people may have been concerned in the fourth quarter of the last one. So it's week to week, and your game plan that you put together, is it simple enough to execute? Is it complex enough to where offenses can't pick on you? And I feel like I could do a better job at times of giving those guys something a little more simple in the tempo situations, and then we got to do a better job of just executing the defenses that I do call, and that comes with a little bit more repetition in practice. But the other thing is the quarterback was if he wasn't the leading passer in the nation, a year ago, he was close to it. I think he may have been the number one passer, and then right now I think he's up there, and if he's not number one or two, he's at least at number three. And you put a quarterback in that situation, and give him a little bit of time. Guys got tired, in that fourth quarter, and we did a little bit of substituting, and we made some mistakes here or there from a stunt standpoint or responsibility in the scheme of the defense. And we'll continue to get better with our depth, but we got a little ways to go right now. And when we can rotate more people early on in that fourth quarter, that'll help us to where we don't get so tired that chasing the quarterback in a tempo situation creates mistakes for us.
So it's clear this was kind of like an outlier. If you're going to face, Daryl LaMonica, the Mad Bomber, that's what you ran into.
I think some of it was self-inflicted. Some of it was facing a good quarterback, and then some of it can be, going back to just the amount of reps that some of the guys had to prepare for that particular game. We had some guys that come off injuries that were getting in there for the first time and hadn't had reps in weeks. So I think there's a lot of different things that you could go to. The bottom line is this: we'll continue to get better, every week, and I think that we're looking forward to getting back out there, because the first three quarters, holding that team to 14 points, I was really, really impressed. I thought that was a good deal. And one of those touchdowns that we gave up to make it 14 was a bust, and just let on a third and long, and then another one could have been stopped on we had an opportunity to get off the field on a takeaway situation, but just didn't convert this time. And I feel pretty good about defending that team that well, going into the fourth quarter. Now the fourth quarter, nah, man, that was that wasn't good. That wasn't good on anybody's part.
Nate, just one follow-up. Brent Davis gave us a clue as to the offense. As far as the defense goes, have you seen players in the last week or so make great strides? And that doesn't mean that they're going to be starting this week or anything, but who's made some great strides in practice and such in the last 10 days or so?
Yeah, there's Brian Burton is a guy that stands out with speed and athleticism at linebacker. Started in the Georgia State game for us and played a lot of snaps. He's still still working towards eliminating some mistakes and gaining a little bit more of our confidence in some of our defenses. But he's a guy that stood out to me. Trey Sophia is a guy that has really stood out to me at a defensive end position that eventually I could see him working his way into some reps for us. Not probably not in the next week or two, but down the road, he's a guy that is working hard and showing out. Andre Miller is another one that another defensive end that has come off injury in camp and is just now getting back to where he's practicing again and is showing a lot of good things to us. I think those guys have stood out, and there's others, but you only got so many practice reps out there, and those guys have sort of opened some eyes to us, and see a bright future with them as well as some other guys.
Thanks, Nate.
Sure.
Hey, Coach, how are you?
Good.
How do you think Spencer Jones played in his first extended action of the season?
I was really proud of Spencer. Spencer came into the bowl game, and his first year last year, always thought, man, he's got to process things quickly. He's got short area burst that gets him to the ball carrier quickly, and fits the defense really well. But then some injuries sort of set him aside for quite a bit, both during the spring and during camp during the summer. So being able to get back out there on the field, for this first ball game, I bet you he hasn't had more than 6 practices, since that bowl game, and to be able to step out there and play the whole game like that was good. Does he have to improve? Absolutely. There's a lot of things that we left out there that we got to get better at, but to do the things that he did on such short practice opportunities, I thought that was pretty good.
How close can you simulate tempo in practice? What can you guys do to increase the reps there and maybe get a good look heading into the games?
We do try to get tempo run each practice, and sometimes we're a little bit better at executing it than others, but they get to see it every practice. So in situations in this past ball game, maybe we didn't replicate it as well as as Western Kentucky did, but it's something that we continue to work on, and something that our guys will get better and better at.
Any others?
Oh, good afternoon, Coach Ken Kreitzer. Just to ask you a little bit about the 2 quarterbacks that UConn has played so far. Zergiadis and Krajewski have split time in the 3 games. What have you seen about them in film? Is there one that you expect to start?
I don't know if I look at the individual as much as I look at the scheme and what they're asking them to do. You might get a little bit more run out of one than the other, but you also got a guy that's coming into their offense right now to call plays that may tweak and change their offense a little bit. So again, the focus of what we do has been just in executing our defense against whatever we see, and I don't know if we see more screens or if we see more quarterback runs, but things may change a little bit this game, and that may be the big unknown from the previous film that we've seen. So individually, like I said, I think that most any quarterback can pull it down and run with it if you're not where you're supposed to be in the scheme of the defense. And if he's accounted for, then I think that we should be okay. And what I mean by accounted for is everybody doing his job and keeping their eyes on their assignment. And during the course of the play, sometimes that changes with blocking schemes. And that's the challenge each week, is to get the guys to understand how to go through their process as far as assignment. And if you go back the last ball game, 2 out of 3 plays, really good, and then a third play breaks down. 2 out of 3 plays again, pretty good, and then a third play breaks down. So just looking for consistency whether it's last week or this coming week or as we move on throughout the whole season. As we become more consistent as a defense, I think you'll see the production just picks up better and better and better.
Hey, just a quick question. Maybe it comes up in the 2-minute drills on defense, but when the opposition's going no huddle and short counts, trying to get their play off really quick before the defense can change, adapt. How do you handle that? We talked a little bit with Markel and Cedric this week about what they have to look for in those quick situations to call the defense.
I think offenses are trying to do two things. Number one, they want to go a hurry up to eliminate the communication that you have with your defense. So communication pre-snap from safeties to corners or from safeties to outside backers. That's a really big deal. If you listen to teams like the Patriots, New England Patriots, their communication process is outstanding. Between one another, it's loud, it's clear, concise. When they're hitting on all cylinders, there's a lot of noise. I think you can say the same thing about us. I'm not saying we're the Patriots, but what I am saying is when we're communicating well, we that's a huge help in determining what's coming and what and how to play things. So from a formation standpoint, you have some checks that you got to get into, and we got a couple of guys back there that quarterback our defense really well. Once you go to tempo, now you're sort of a little bit more vanilla on offense. You don't do all the different things that your playbook provides for you. It's a lot more simple so that you can go fast. So you may eliminate our communication phase, but you're also dumbing down the play calls as well. So that's what we just got to focus in on is hey, you don't get the whole playbook run at you during tempo. These are the things that they're trying to do. Does that
Thanks, Coach.
make sense?